And welcome back to part 17 of Neptunia VIIR, where today we're going to continue hunting these mysterious monsters threatening Lost Station, and maybe try and find out a little bit more of what's actually going on, since we haven't really learned much yet, other than the Gold Third are in control now and no one remembers the goddesses, which is pretty bizarre for how long the goddesses have been in power. Like, they've kind of been doing it for years, so for them to all just suddenly be pushed aside, it's just a bit like, But anyway, the monster is supposedly in a subway station that Lost Station soldiers have entered but haven't returned from, so that's where we're going to be entering, as I accidentally click one space to the right. There's also some quests you can do in here, so make sure to check the quest log in Lost Station to make sure you've accepted every one so you can make the most of this. It should be this subway station, but we were also a little too late it seems. The entryways are blocked. As expecting of Lost Station's guards, they do work quickly. Well, that's good, but I can't say I'm very happy about it. What should we do though? If we keep wasting time here, they're gonna get to it first. Calm down, let's get information from the people who escaped and find out what's going on inside. There's not much good info. All I know is that there's a strange monster suddenly appeared inside. I wonder how Uni's doing. She's pretty late. Noire, this is bad. There's still people inside who haven't escaped yet. What? What are the soldiers doing? Well, apparently they can't contact the soldiers who went inside to save them either. Jeez, what are they doing? Why are my nation's soldiers the worst at working together? They're always making trouble. Wait, Noire! Ah, another subway. Hey, you there! Is it true people are still inside? Yeah, there are still some left. We sent out a rescue team. Has there been any communication from said rescue team? No, not yet. We're not sure what to do. If you have the time to hesitate, then go save them. Aren't citizens' lives important? Even if you say that. What's all this noise? Some girl is fighting with a soldier. Something about people's lives? Oh no, I remember. The people are still trapped inside, right? They haven't been rescued yet. We're doing our best to rescue the citizens. Forget it. Move aside. I'll save them. Wait a moment. It's dangerous. We can't let you through. I know how dangerous it is. Just let me through already. Whoa! I'm sorry, but people's lives are at stake. Hey, we're not supposed to raise a hand against the soldiers. It's an emergency. We're storming in, Uni. Wait! What? We're in a hurry. Don't get in the way. It's hard to bring myself to say this, but please, save the citizens and my fellow soldiers, Lady CPU. You... Right, leave it to me. They remember her! A person, have we seen her somewhere? Now that I think about it, isn't that the girl on the wanted list? Are you serious? This is the worst. She's just gonna loot the place. She would never do such a thing. Noire is a kind person. Huh? What's wrong? No, I just thought I heard a voice. Hey, it's another station-themed dungeon. It's the same theming, but a different layout. And I'm going to keep on bringing it up, because if the first 3 games ever get re-released on PS4, I'll get to show you exactly what I goddamn mean. Because those first 3 games, especially the first one, have a real awful habit of having the exact same dungeon layout and theme and everything, with just different enemies in place. And it's just kind of like, So I'm so grateful that this game avoids doing that almost entirely. In fact, it kind of does if you want to argue everything about a dungeon. That they might borrow a few rooms and reuse them, like reuse assets from rooms, but they won't reuse a whole dungeon. Also, yeah, this gives me more time to show off that Uni is real goddamn powerful, an absolute necessity to be using on your team. Because despite the fact that she's a ranged fighter, you'd think that she wouldn't do that much damage, or just do less damage because she's a ranged. But no, she can easily pump out more damage than Noire. As we get a nice little ribbon. And you're going to see, like, when I eventually check the ribbon, the first thing I do is try to see if I can equip it to Noire so I can get rid of that goddamn hat. And I can't.
Good taste.
And I'm just like, I want to get rid of the fucking hat. I want to be able to see Noire's face again. Right, the idea of this subway is that on this ground floor there's 3 entrances. 2 of them take you to the next area, 1 of them leads you to treasure. Also, we get an eye patch. We get a Metal Gear inspired eye patch, but it is better than the fucking hat, so I go with it. After giving it a bit of an investigation, because it straight up is the solid eye from MGS4. Like, there's no other way around it. So you have two that will take you downstairs into the actual subway part of the subway. This is just the corridors and tunnels leading to it, whilst the other will lead you to like a back room, which is what I'm looking for. You can see I completely ignore that room because I know that's one of them. But the next two, I kind of get muddled with myself of which one's which, and so you're going to see me do a bit of running around until I find it. Also, because of Uni's extreme range, there's nothing stopping you from just lining up several enemies. So you're going to see I'm going to try and get all four, but I just can't get it lined up properly. So I eventually just take the three behind. And shoot the shit out of them.
I got it. I'll finish it this turn.
The only one that survived was the one on the end, because I think it missed.
Child's play.
And of course the doggo with heal in its name, I think that's a heal doggo. Yeah, it is. Is the one that heals itself as soon as it gets its only turn. Like, soon we'll be getting doggos called numb doggos, which are kind of like the next step up, because they can heal status conditions as well. And then you get healing, which is when they heal themselves for a lot stronger, and they're a pain in the dick. They really are. You also can get giant healing doggos, which I don't think you fight in this game, but they are a hunt in the first game, and it was one of the hunts I never got round to doing, and I can't, like, just even when I had the ability to do it, I just didn't bother, because when you're the right level for it, you're still kind of not, because it can out heal any damage you deal. Like, if you're doing about 300 in turn and it's healing about 9,000, what are you supposed to do here, kind of thing. I think if they ever did actually re-release the Rebirth trilogy on PS4, like, you know, kind of how they re-released Rebirth 1 in Japan PS4, I think it'd be interesting going back through them, because I got them on Vita, and like the first game is kind of clunky, man. Like, it's very interestingly handled. There's a few ideas of it though that were pretty interesting, like the virus monsters and all that stuff, but as a whole it's a very clunky, questionable game with some real bad balancing issues. And the second game was alright, it just had way too many endings, so none of them were satisfying because it had the share of resources kind of thing. The third game though is amazing, so I think it'd be good to go through the first three to see that growth. Right, now I'm going to go the wrong way. That door that's like right at the top, that's the one to the back room. This one just takes you into the subway area. So you're going to see we come down here, kind of investigate around me to see if this is if I'm missing something or where the back room is. Kind of go, okay, and then eventually I get the idea after fighting a couple enemies to check and go back, which is worth doing because it's well worth it. The reward for checking the back room. But I happened to notice the bit robot there, so I wanted to go fight it because, like, as you can see by the swords, it's another quest. Oh, it's a bit Mark 2. Did we fight a bit Mark 1? I think we did. Well, if we haven't, or if we haven't, I'm going to bring it up again just in case I forgot last time or whatever. The interesting thing with bits is that they have a 360 vision. You can't sneak attack them. You can't just get behind them and hit them. If you want to get the special attack, you have to time your strike perfectly.
Leave it to me, Noire. Good answer, Uni.
And the only way you might realise this, because you might think, oh, maybe it's just a really tiny gap, because some of them have like almost 360 vision, but there's like a tiny gap right behind them. There's a special ability you can unlock which gives you the field of view of the enemies on the map, and it's in every Neptunia game. Like, can't remember how you get it in this one, so if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. Well, it might be more than the Plunker dungeons, which there's 2 of, but we'll see. But if you get that, you can see that it's just a circle around the bits, so there is no way to sneak attack them. Most robots usually have 360 or almost 360 vision. Alright, now see me register. Okay, so that's the other side of the door. So it's shorter distance to go through here for some reason. To just go through there and run across instead of travelling through upstairs. So I just quickly do that to get back here, because look how small of a walk that was. As we go back up to area 1, and then we go through to this back room. So and there's 3 treasure chests here.
Looks like an item.
And one of them, yeah, the Black Heart apron. For some reason, every playthrough I've done, that's always been really fucking good for Uni. Like, the metal dress is kind of nice, but as you can see, like, I'm kind of hesitant to use it because although its stat boosts are better in certain areas, it does lower my power and accuracy in others, and it's just kind of like
How's this?
But the apron, look, it's just a straight up buff across the board.
Does it fit me?
It looks kind of interesting on Uni, but yeah, it's like she's got a fucking she's got a maid's like uniform on now. Yeah, because that's the thing. You have costumes that are just color changes, like the metal dress. You have costumes that are slight redesigns, and then you have ones that are completely different. There's also like the 3 stages. Like Noire's is just a recolor, whilst Uni is a slight redesign. But the major redesigns, we probably won't spot them for later on, because some of them are really out there. My favourite one, though, is in Neptunia, the 3rd Neptunia game, Victory or Rebirth 3. It's the only time that Neptune wore something other than her weird hoodie dress thing. And she wore this different getup, this different costume, and it was a pretty nice costume, to be fair. I thought I kind of liked the dress with a coat kind of thing that she was going for in the 3rd game. You can get that as one of her alternate costumes in this game, because she went back to the Parker dress, the hoodie, in this one, which I just was a bit like... I thought was a bit odd, because it's such a... like, I get it, because it's kind of like a recognisable design for Neptune, but at the same time, it's so simplistic compared to what she had in the 3rd game. I really liked the costume design she had in the 3rd game. Yeah, it looked a bit more like a casual summer wear than what she has normally, but it was still pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah, that one time I wasn't... You might have heard the cut in the music. That was me saving the recording, because I'm always wary of the whole half-an-hour recording limit. I could set it to an hour, but then when it comes to auto-record, like if I stumble into odd things in other stuff, that's just way too much data space it'd immediately absorb, so I don't bother.
Target neutralized.
And that's Uni's new attack, which is amazing, and so you should use it all the time. Because it just wrecks everything, and at the level you need to be able to use it, you restore enough SP per turn to use it every turn, so why aren't you, kind of thing. That way is the correct way to go, but you might as well just head over there, because as I'm about to find out, there's nothing up here. So I went on usual RPG formula of go the wrong way to find loot, but there's nothing up here, it was a waste of time. So I head down here, end up fighting another 8-bit robot. Everyone gets a bit of a level up again. I say everyone, it's just Noire, because I couldn't get their experiences to line up. There's some characters you'll see I get their experience bars to relatively line up. Also, we get a new sword for Noire, and this one, the main reason I debate against it is because of the skill slots. It's got hit rate attacks, and then the break attack, or whatever they call it now, I forget what they call it. Or energy attacks even. And whilst energy is alright, if you want to deal the most pain, you want to use power. So the other sword having 2 power attacks is still very attractive. It's just that its raw stats across the board was so much better that I eventually decided to go with it and sacrifice the extra raw damage. Even though you are going to kind of see as we go on, it was a debatable choice. Like, I did alright, but maybe it wasn't my wisest. There's quite a number of them. If we don't hurry, we may end up being too late to save them. Right, let's find them. I thought I felt someone's presence. Huh? There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Was it just me? You're right, they wouldn't be hanging out in the entrance here. Bum bum bum, we're being followed. And you might have already worked out who it is as well, but I'm not going to spoil it just in case you haven't. God, I hope whenever the 5th Neptunia game comes around, they get rid of the music restarting at the end of every fight. Because I love this track, but it's like every 5 seconds you just hear boop 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 boop. And then you encounter another enemy. Oh, I decided to fight this guy instead. And then I love this track, but I want to be able to hear the rest of it, you know? Because you're only really going to hear the whole of this track if you're dicking around, or if you've already done the dungeon and you're heading back for either side quests, or because you need to do a very specific thing, or if you're hunting down the super bosses later on, which are called the high risk bounties. because the bounty and the high risk bounties we won't be able to get into properly until much later on, but there's specific enemies that you can track down and hunt within specific dungeons. But then to get the high risk bounties you had to go a step beyond that, because you had to, when I think about it, there's this feature that you get once you beat the game where you can continually level up an area, making the enemies stronger and stronger. And if you level it up beyond a certain point, then a specific enemy will appear. Once you beat that specific enemy, you then unlock the high risk bounty, which is basically the super boss of that dungeon. Most of them aren't too bad, but the ultimate super boss of the game, or the ultimate super boss that's in almost every game, Delphinus, is the only way you're fighting her is through this. Which I do plan on doing. I do plan on fighting Delphinus, because there's going to be some post-game parts similar to FF15. Probably not as many, because there's not as much to do in post-game, but there's still stuff to do in post-game. Like, I can think of a handful of things I'll absolutely show off, but don't expect it to, like, add another 15 odd parts like it did with 15. I expect it to be like 4 or 5 at most. Noire, look! Ah, don't come any closer! Rawr! Damn it, it's too strong! You're all our station soldiers, right? Hurry and take care of that thing. Don't ask for the impossible! Yeah! What? I've come to save you. Leave this to us. Everyone, this way. We're getting out of here, so hurry. We're saved. Hey, just a second. You're that wanted girl, aren't you? That's right. I remember that face now. So? What the hell kind of answer is that? We can't trust the words of a criminal. I bet you were the ones who caused this shitstorm in the first place. As if we did, then why would we come to help you? You're just pretending to save us so you can steal everything. Oh, that's just rich. Listen, you guys. Uni, stop running your mouth on these idiots. These monsters won't wait for us to finish talking. Noire. Hey, soldiers, if you want to capture me, then go right ahead. Huh? But only after all the monsters are cleaned up and everyone is safely out of the subway. I promise you I won't run away. I promise we'll save you all. You're serious? Of course, I came here to help you guys. If I got caught afterwards, so be it. Alright, we'll believe you. Thank you. Rah! Watch out! Thanks, Uni. That wasn't me just now. Someone else took the shard. Wait, could it be the person who saved me in the forest? Even when they call her a criminal, she still has strength to continue saving them. Noire, you really are as wonderful a person as I thought you were. That isn't a bit of a giveaway, but I'll let that one slide. I don't know what's going on, but Uni, let's get at them in one go. Right.
The world has gone mad. Then I'll believe in myself and fight.
Time to transform. Come on, Uni. Let's get a fucking maid uniform and do something a bit more sensible. Also, I'll mention it now since we're transforming Uni. Running joke of the series, Uni is the only character who ends up looking younger when she transforms. Everyone else, the idea is when they transform, they visually look like they've aged about 4 or 5 years. For some reason, I don't understand the reference personally, but for some reason, Uni's supposed to look younger. It's the same reason why, and the game will bring mention to this, and they brought mention to it last part in like a throwaway dialogue. Uni's boobs get smaller, and they bully the shit out of her for it sometimes, especially in things like the anime. I think it was the second game, and like Rebirth 2 and then the anime, both of them, they bully the shit out of Uni for that. Anyway, its right arm cannon and its mask are both just pressure points that you can break to be able to dish out more pain. So remember to make the most of the break points. I also, something that is absolutely worth knowing about this boss is that you can poison and paralyze it, and Uni starts with both poison shot and paralyze shot. So just shoot 2 paralyze shots into it, it's losing turns. Shoot 2 poison shots into it, it's taking chip damage. Like, just like, unless you've overgrinded, in which case you could probably do it in one. But it takes me a little to realise it, but you can absolutely poison this boss, making Uni even more viable of an asset as she already was. Also, I just love the fact that Uni's got a gun. Like, when you play the first game, you really, really want some kind of range. Because the closest you get in the first game is Vert's spear, which you can't even like throw like a javelin or anything like that. No, it's just got slightly longer reach than anyone else. So actually having a character who's got range you can space out was such a lifesaver going into the second game onwards, when the little sisters became playable. Well, properly playable. You could unlock them as secret characters in the first game, but it was a bit of work. Also, that's me now poisoning and paralyzing the demonic law. So now it will miss its turn, but every turn the paralyze is still in effect. Which, unlike, say, Pokemon, you can actually see how many turns it's got left before it burns out. When it goes to its turn, you can see the meters above its number and ranking. The bars are emptied slightly, so you can work out how many turns you got left.
There's no enemy I can't shoot down.
The number is sort of its ranking. The higher the number, the more dangerous a threat it is. And the little icon next to it is what race it is. But boss is considered its own race. So even if it's like clearly a bug monster and the next one is clearly a robot, if they're both boss fights, they're both going to be boss race. And it's just because boss race monsters don't have to have consistent weaknesses like elemental, whilst every other race has to have a consistent shared weakness across the whole race, like of at least one element, or maybe for a specific monster they have none. Well, so the bosses are literally just there to break the rules, so then they don't have to have a consistent weakness. But either way, the demonic law is now defeated. It's not a difficult fight in the slightest. Like I said, once the moment you realise that Uni's Venom and Paralyze Shot, both of which she starts with, it can work on the boss, the boss just starts to fall apart. We're always cutting it close. Are you okay, Uni? Yeah, I'm alright. Good to hear. Hey, are you guys safe? Yes, thanks to you two. I see. Okay, then let's return to the surface. I'll lead the way. Uni, take up the rear. Okay. Are you two alright? You look pretty beat. If you really think so, then maybe try to support us a little, huh? Right. Noire really is amazing. If it were just me, I probably wouldn't have even bothered to protect these people. My sister's back. So far away. I have to try harder. Oh right, we're here. What a relief. You two. Don't worry, everyone's safe. All the people who couldn't escape, and the soldiers too. You really saved them all on your own? Of course. Who do you think we are? This really is incredible. Thank you so much for helping us. Sorry for repeating myself so much, but I can't thank you enough. On behalf of the soldiers and the citizens, thank you. So you're not going to arrest me? We couldn't possibly put you in handcuffs now. You're both way stronger than you look. Well, of course. There's no way you'd win against Noire and I. Uni, don't get carried away. There's no way they could be criminals. You soldiers should do your jobs properly and dig deeper into your investigations. Yeah, that's right. Oh, right, understood. We'll probably confirm the information. Alright, we don't have to sneak around. Yeah, I'm glad there are still people left who understand. Who would understand. But still, I'm exhausted. I'd love to lay down in the soft bed. Come to my hotel if you need a place to rest. I'll prepare our best suites right away. Really? We can finally rest our feet? Oh, but we're making Keisha wait, so we should return. Noire! Uni! Keisha? You really do appear suddenly. I was really worried about you, so I ended up following. I told you to wait for us. Oh, you. Jeez. Is this a friend of yours? I'll prepare 3 rooms so you can all rest. Seriously, thank you. We'll take you up on that incredibly kind offer. Spending the night with Noire. Keisha, could you not word it in such a weird way? But I really am glad. It'd really help out if more people began to understand us and know who we really are. Take a long rest today and try even harder tomorrow. Uni left.
Huh? Where is this?
Come on, don't waste time. Let's go. The next quest is going to be difficult too.
Okay, let's do our best, Noire.
Hey now, don't cling so much. I can't walk like this.
Noire? Uni? Oh, that's right. I was observing Noire. Oh, Noire looks like she's having so much fun.
Why am I not the one by Noire's side?
Who's there?
Poor Keisha. All you can do is watch.
I can only watch.
Observation is just an excuse. You just wanted a reason to stay close to Noire.
Is it wrong of me to want to?
It's a feeling similar to longing. You wish from the bottom of your soul to become something more than friends.
Oh,
You want to be with her, but the person smiling next to her is her own sister. You're frustrated. You're jealous. Uni gets to be close to her because she's her sister. And even though you're Noir's friend, you're not the one next to her. Because of that, if you can't be smiling next to her, she won't even turn her smile towards you. It's all because of that nuisance of a sister. If only Uni wasn't there, you could be the one standing there.
if Uni wasn't there, I'd be next to her.
Imagine the sight of you laughing next to her.
Noir,
You're so lonely, aren't you, Keisha? If only Uni didn't exist, you could be with Noir. Just the two of you.
if Uni didn't exist.
Noir is so kind and strong. She tries to protect people even at the cost of herself. She's a real hero. She should have always protected you and helped you when you needed it. A hero only for you.
Because Uni's there.
That's right. Because Uni's there, Noir won't look at you anymore.
Uni. If Uni didn't exist, Noir would look at me. Where am I?
Are you awake, Keisha?
Noir.
Interesting dream you're having, Keisha, you yandere fuck. Thanks to that incident, I'm able to move around a little more freely, but where should I gather the information from? Right now, stopping the war is more important than me, but how should I find information on the Order? Hey, young lady, you're the one who helped at the subway station, right? Yes, I am. Oh, good timing. Could you help me out with something? I don't mind, but, well, what is it exactly? Well, I need to collect this special ore for my work, and I'd like to get it myself, but, you know, my back hasn't been too good lately. Alright, so you want to just go get it for you? Oh, I'm glad you understand. Yes, but please do be careful. Anyway, but you can kind of see where this is going. We've got to go a new dungeon to explore. So next time on Neptunia VIIR, Noire and Noire alone will set out towards that cave, and hopefully nothing bad will happen at home. But until then, take care.